Okay, so what have we done up to now? What we have done is the following. We were talking about database storage. So in this chapter, we covered the following. This chapter talks about how to store your tables in disk, or we call it database storage. Simply means table storage. Database storage. And what did I do? I did the following. First of all, I talked about disk. Tracks and sectors and platters and so on. After that, I started talking about storage. Storage. How to store your tables. And I showed you 3 ways. I'm not sure whether you remember or not. The first way was heap. And don't order the files, the records. يعني of the table, just store them as they come. The second one was sequential. You order them according to certain attributes, like according to SSN or according to whatever you like, yani sequential. And the last one was hash. And I told you we have 2 types of hash. Static hash, هذا اللي شرحته. I think we are done with static hash, in which the buckets are fixed, يعني static hash. The array size, we call them buckets. The array where it contains the addresses of the blocks is fixed. خلاص, the size is fixed. Or dynamic, the size is not fixed. I will explain this. What do I mean by that? Dynamic. Now in dynamic hashing عندنا كثير أنواع كثير جدا جدا يعني. So what we are going to do, I'm going to talk only about only one of them, which we call extendable hashing. I don't think I have time to explain linear hashing. Normally I do linear hashing, but I don't have time. So let me just talk about extendable hashing. It's enough, يعني, extendable hashing. You will have the idea about what dynamic means. Extendable hashing, okay? Extendable hashing. Now in heap, what kind of search do we use, ya shabab? Search, what kind of search do we use? Which search algorithm? We go just from what? From block to block to block to block, صحيح?
Yes, linear.
Linear search, very good. Linear search. So if B is equals to N, linear search. If B equals to N, B معناته number of blocks is equals to N. On the average, this will cost you N over 2. معي ولا إيه? I think we covered this one, صحيح?
Yes.
Yeah. What about sequential search? It is sorted now. So if you have a select statement on the sorted attribute, how much this will cost you? Log
2 N, I think.
Very good. Yes, log 2 of N, where N is the number of blocks, divided by what?
By 2.
Divided by 2. The average, this one. The worst is log 2 of N. The best is always 1, يعني. The worst is how much here? N, صحيح? And the best is 1. The average is N over 2. Here, the best is 1. Again, the worst is log 2 over N. And the average is log 2 over N. What about in static hash? It depends how many overflow عندك, صحيح? And static, it can be 1, the best. The worst can be N, like linear. يعني maybe everyone is in the same, everybody is overflow except the first one. يعني it's possible. Anyhow, I did talk about this one. Do you have any question? لو تذكروا static hash هو هذا. This is static hash. Do you have any question here before I move to the next step? Any question, Shabab? Okay. So let me go to this last one. اللي هو ايش extendable hash. This is the last topic في السكشن. Then we are going to move to something. Yes, please.
The bucket in the static, it's mean block.
This is a bucket. معناته ايش? How many is the size of the array which contains
the previous bucket.
We call this one buckets, yeah.
Okay.
So bucket 0, bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 9. So we have the size of the array is معناته 9. Bucket simply means array, okay? Which contains the addresses. معي ولا ايه؟
Okay, I get it. Thank you.
أو كمان خليه يفتح لك بطريقة أفضل شوية. Let me just go to anyone. So bucket simply means if you have a block like this, let's say you have a disk block like this, and you have a table which contains, let's say, minimum records, and you want to store it. صحيح? So what you do is, if you are going to use the static hash, you must have an array. Let's say the size of the array you decided. You say let's say the array size is 5. So what it means is, let's assume I have millions of blocks in my disk, and the disk blocks are numbered like 0, 1, 2, and so on. طبعا لو عندي 5 هنا, what does it mean? What it means is one of them will point maybe to this, معناتها disk block number 1. Maybe this will point to this. 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 So this is bucket 0 with bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3, and bucket 4. This bucket simply means array, okay? Now what do we do when we take, for example, the first record here, isn't it? We put it what? Where do we put it? If we are putting it in a hash, we use a hash function. We take the SSN of this first one, and the SSN will give me a number between 0 and 4, which is the bucket number. Yeah. So let's say if the bucket is 2, this gives me 2. معناته ايش? Simply I'm going to store the first record will be stored in this place. In this place. Let's say this is record number. This is block number 50 مثلا يعني 55. معناتها this address for 55 will be written here. So anything that hashes to 2 will be stored in 55. We call this one a bucket. هل هذا واضح ولا ما واضح؟
واضح.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So this is the static hashing. Why do we call it static? لأنه عدد الباكت is fixed خلاص. It's predefined, prefixed. Okay? You cannot change them. 5, 5 خلاص. So like as if you are declaring an array of size 5 and you cannot change it after that. Okay? So when it is like this one, we call it static hashing. So we did explain this one last time, inshallah. If you don't have any question, I will go to the next one, which is extendable hashing. Do you have any question here before I go to the next one? Okay, let me talk about extendable hashing in that case, which is the last one. In extendable hashing, we also have a disk, because we are always talking about how to store our tables in the disk. Let's say I have a table, employee table مثلا, which has many records, and I want to save this table in a disk, which means it will have to go to some blocks. يعني it will take maybe 1 or more blocks in the disk, and the disk blocks are numbered. Now in dynamic hashing, we don't predefine the size of the bucket. We start with one bucket فقط, with one, and we start with one array of size 1 يعني. So these are blocks, okay شباب? And the blocks are numbered. Block 0, block 1, block 2, block 3. And we say each block takes around 4K or 8K. It depends on you. As a DBA, you have to specify how big you want this one to be. Now I want to store this table into this disk. How do I do it? I'm going to show you how to do this using static hashing. Dynamic hashing. And في dynamic hashing عندنا كثير algorithm. I'm going to show you one algorithm which we call extendable hash. This is dynamic, and it's called extendable hash. Extendable hash. This is the algorithm I'm going to talk about, extendable hash. What do we do? First of all, we start with one array of size 1. So this will be, inshallah, it will grow. Yani. Then let's say that I'm going to store everything in block number, let's say block number 15. This is block number 15. Yani. So you write 15 here. So what will happen is you will get the first record. You don't even have to hash it, because we only have one, yani, okay? So automatically you store it what? In block number 15. The second one, it goes to block number 15. The third one, it goes to block 15. Until block number 15 is full. Let's assume block number 15 takes a maximum of 10 records, 10 employee records. So up to 10 you don't have a problem. You can store all of them here. You don't even have to hash يعني. ما عندناش إلا block واحد. So we will put everything هناك يعني. But when I reach record number 11, then I cannot put record number 11 هنا لأنه خلاص يتعبت الحين. So what do? We need another what? We need another block. So the computer automatically, the operating system will give me another block. Maybe it will give me block number 33 مثلا. We don't know which one will give you. مثلا it will give you block number 33. So what we are going to do is now, up to now I have read 11 records. So I'm going to take these 11 records and I'm going to divide them between 15 and between 33. هوزعهم. طب بوزعهم ازاي؟ Take the 11 and so I will have an array of size 2. One will contain 50, one will point to 15, and the next one will talk to 33. So this is going to point to this. This is address 15 is going to point to this. Now I have 11 records. Up to now, great 11 records. هقراهم كلهم one by one, but up to now, so record number 11, it gave me a problem because I cannot store it in 15 because 15 ياخذ maximum 10. So what do? I will take these 11 records and I will divide them between 15 and between 33. But how do I divide them? Let's assume I'm using my hash function. This is hash shabab. Maybe my hash function is okay. The hash function is working on SSN. And then it's going to give me a number now. Before I had only one, so we didn't have to hash anything. But now I have two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert SSN into a binary number. Then I will look at the least significant bit. If the least significant bit is a 0, كل اللي بيخلص بالزيرو هحطهم في 15. Those SSNs which have their binary number is equals to 1, the least significant binary number is 1 مثلا, then I will put them into 33. In short, all the even number SSNs will go to 15 and all the odd number SSNs will go to 33. هل هذا واضح يا شباب ولا لا؟ Or shall I repeat it quickly?
No, clear.
It's clear, very good. So yes. Let me just quickly repeat it لأنه في بعضكم يمكن يخجل ما يسألش, just to make sure that you understood it. I started with only one. I never had this one before. Always in extendable hashing, it's dynamic. You start with 1, then they become 2, then they become 4. ما في حاجة اسمها 3. Then they become 8, then they become 16. So we'll start with 1 first. Then everything will go to 15 until 15 is full. But once 15 is full, because 15 can take only what? Each block can take only 10. So I already put 10 in 15. So when I'm going to read number 11, I want to store it, it doesn't fit into 15. So I need another block. So what do? I will the computer will give me another block. Let's say it gave me block number 3. So what do? I will take all the 11 records that I read up to now. I will divide them between block number 15 and block number 33. How do I divide them? I'm going to use a hash function, which will give me a binary number, and then it will take the least significant bit. So the least significant bit, for example, if it's an even number, هتكون 0. If it's an odd number, SSN is odd number, هيعطيكم 1. You know this one already from binary, صحيح يا شباب? So all the odd SSNs هحطهم في 33, all the even SSN هحطهم في 15. Is this clear يا شباب ولا لا؟
Doctor?
Yes, please.
What if all records is odd?
Yeah, I will come to these very strange things. It happens a lot. هتكلم عنها إن شاء الله. Very good. But excellent question. But let's assume now it's a nice world. Perfect, what they call صحيح. Assume perfect world يعني. But you are right, this is a big problem. In fact, هذا العيب بتاعت extendable hashing. Okay. Now, what do we do? طيب الحين, let's do the following now. Now, خلينا نقرأ الحين. طيب نقرأ الحين. Suppose if I am lucky طبعا, if I am lucky, 6 منهم حيكون هنا. والخمسه يمكن يكون هنا او 5 و6 عني, نص هنا ونص هنا. بعد ما قسم ال 11 الريكوردز لغايه هنا اللي قريتهم صحيح, يمكن نصهم حيروح هنا, نصهم حيروح هنا if I am lucky. طبعا if I am not lucky, maybe 10 of them will come here and 1 will come here. But let's assume I am lucky all the time, so 5 and 6. Okay شباب? Let's assume that. Now continue reading, continue reading, continue reading. Now it can happen that now after around 20 blocks or 20 something records, sorry, I need more records. Then let's say one of them was full. Let's say this was full, 15 was full. This was full. خلاص هذا وصلت 10 الحين. هذه يمكن وصلت كم؟ ولا هذه يمكن وصلت 9 8 مثلا. بعد ما قريت 18 يعني، ما قريت 18. Now number 19, so I will get it up to now قريت كم معنا؟ قريت 18. Now when I read number 19, then it came here مع هذول. But this is already full. I already have 10 and 15 now. خلاص هذا وصلت 10 الحين. So what do I do يا شباب؟ Again I have to divide a little 15. So I need another block because هذا مش كفاية. Let's assume the computer gave me block number 2. أعطاني هذا. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, always this bucket is now. So I will take the one which are here. Don't forget the one in 15, they are always يا شباب. كلهم بيخلص they are all even numbers. معي ولا إيه؟ Are you with me يا شباب؟ They are all even numbers. يعني كل ما بيجي even وديته هنا، كل ما بيجي odd وديته هنا، كل ما بيجي even وديته هنا، كل ما بيجي odd وديته هنا. Let's say 18 كلهم all the evens are here and all the odds are here. Is this point clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Very good. Now number 19 is also even. Yes.
Doctor, I have a question. Sorry.
Yes.
Because it's in the binary, because it's end with 1, it's odd, right?
Yes. And yeah, in binary, a binary number of 1 is odd and of 0 is and even. You are right.
Even.
You are right.
Okay.
You are right. So take any odd number, find its binary number, and take the least significant bit. آخر bit صحيح. If it is a 1 معناتها it was odd. If it is a 0 معناتها it is even number. Am I right يا شباب ولا؟ I think I'm right صحيح. Okay. You can see for yourself.
Yes.
Okay. For example, how do we write 1? We write 0 1. How do we write 2? We write 1 0. شوف the least significant bit هو آخر bit هنا. So whenever it is a 1, آخر bit معناتها the number is odd. Whenever it is a 0, it's even. What about 3? What about 4? شوف. So always, if this is a 0 معناتها it is a, if it is a 0, this is an even number. So this is 2, this is 4, this is 3 and so on. هذا قصدي يعني. أكيد فاهمانين أنتوا هذا بس عشان بفهمكم القصد حقتي. Is this clear ولا؟ So whenever the SSN is an even number, will come to 15. Whenever it is an odd number, it will come to 33. Let's say now I have 10 even numbers and 8 odd numbers already بعد ما قريت 18. Now number 19 is again what? Number 19 is again even number. So it has to go to where? To 15 ولا to 33? To 15 صحيح? Because 15. It's even number. But this is already 10 full. تعبت هذا الحين. I don't have room for it. This is only 4K. خلاص I already have 4K هنا. Now what I should do is the following. I need another block. So I will ask for another block. So let's assume he gave me this block again. Block number 2. So what will happen is now I need block number 2. The only thing is in the extendable hashing, this always they grow by what? They grow by 2. They always double. So I had 1, they became 2. Now I have 2. If I need more, they become 4. They don't become 3. I'll explain for each other. Now what will happen is the following. So I need another block. Let's say I need block number 2. Block number 2 عطاني. Now when this is block number 2, what does it mean? It means now how do I divide those who are all even numbers? So what I will do is I will look at the next bit. Because they all have 0 0 in the first bit. كلهم عندهم 0 0 0 in the first bit. 0 0 0 كلهم. كل ال11. So I will look at the second bit الحين. في بعدهم 0, في بعدهم 1, في بعدهم 0, في بعدهم 1. So those no, so I will look at 2 bits now, not only 1 bit. I will look at the 2 least significant bits. If it is a 10, then if it is a 0 0, both of them are 0 0, I will leave that into 15. But if it is 1 0, so this is 0 0, I will leave it into 15. But if it is 1 0, I will move them into 2. Into 2. معناتها ايش؟ They will go to 2. هل هذا واضح يا شباب ولا مش واضح؟
Yes.
Okay, very good. What about this? Okay, this, what I will do is, okay, I have a room for it, but let's assume that this is going to be what? I have 0, 0, this is 0, 1, this is 1, 0, this is going to be number 3, صحيح? Number 3 is 1, 1, صحيح معي ولا يا شباب?
Yes.
But
Yes.
this, so anything which is going to be finished with 1 is already في set 3 موجود معي ولا إيه؟ Set 3 contains what? Contains all those who finish with 1, صحيح? But it is not full yet. So I'm not going to look at the second bit. So I will only look at the last bit. So this will also point to set 3. For this also will be pointing to set 3. So it will also point into this one. So I have two of them still pointing to the same space. Later on, so this is okay. Are you with me? هذه النقطة هذه مهمة جدا. فهمتوها هذه ولا لا?
Because 33 is not full.
Exactly, it's not full. So both 0, 1 and 1, 1, they will point to the same block until block number 33 is full. بعدين حنقسمها ل 0 1 لحالهم و 1 1 لحالهم. بس الحين ما نقدرش نقسمهم. They are only 8 صحيح? So we will leave them together. So the array which contains 1 1, because this is one bit significant bit, is the least significant bit is 1 least significant bit. But فكلهم حخليهم 0 1 وال 1 1 كلهم موجودين فين؟ لسه الحين موجودين في نمبر 33. ما حقسمهم. بخليهم لغاية ما يكملوا. Are you with me ولا؟ Okay, yes. I hope so. Let's say after some time, set 3 تعبى وصل 10 خلاص. Because all the odd numbers, they keep coming here, they keep coming here. Now, when I read another record, it also wants to, it's an odd number again, so it has to come here, but I don't have room for the number 11 here. So what do? I need another empty block. Maybe it will give me this block, I don't know, maybe block number 0 يعطيني الحين. So it will give me block number 0. So what I will do is I will take the 11 حقسمهم الحين. Those who finish with 0 1 حخليهم فين؟ حخليهم في test 3. Those who finish with 1 1 حوديهم على ايش؟ على الزيرو. So what I'm going to do is this is not going to be 3 3 anymore. This will be what? معلش. This will point to what? It will point to
0.
0. So this will point to here. So anyone who finishes with 1 1 will go to 0, but anyone who finishes with 0 1 will stay what? Will stay in 33. فال11 اللي كانوا هنا قسمناهم بين ايش؟ بين هذا ان شاء الله 6 جو هنا وال5 بيجوا هنا او بالعكس. Is this clear ولا؟
So he will not double until the other slot is filled. اللي هو 0 يعني.
Exactly. So the number of blocks are how many الحين؟ عندنا 1 2 3 what is number 4؟ هذه 4 صحيح؟ 4 تعبوا وهنا برضه عندنا 4 صحيح؟ طبعا it doesn't happen this way all the time. Now let me take one more example عشان اوريكم العيب بتاعت الاكستندبل هاشنج. عنده عيب لانه this is always doubling. هالمشكله الحين. Let's assume after some time 15 was full. 15 خلاص الحين يتعبى وصل 10 برضه 15 بعد ما قرينا زياده من هنا. So when we read more and more and more, we have all them. They finish with 0 0 0 0 0 0. They all came here. Now, before I do that, I will continue that one. Let me just write a simple select statement. Select. Let's assume this is a situation now. This is a situation now. Let me write a select statement. Select star from the employee table. Assume the employee table only took 4 blocks. اللي هم ايش؟ اللي هم block number 0, block number 2, block number 15 وبلوك number 3 فقط. خلاص عبينا كلهم الامبلوي كلهم دخلناهم في 4 بلوكات مثلا يعني. Where SSN equals to 100. Let's say when SSN equals to 60. Let me just put a simple number. Okay. When SSN equals to 21. 21. Tell me, well, how many disk blocks do I have to read to find this person whose SSN is 21? It's a typical exam question.
You know, it's an odd
Okay, we know it is an odd number, so it has to be between what? Between 33 or 0, صحيح?
Yes.
And but where is it? Is it in 33 or it is in 0?
You convert it to binary.
when
Convert it to binary first. Okay, let's convert it to binary. 21 حيعطيك سعيت عليه حيعطيك first of all this is going to be 1. هذا حيكون 16 حيعطيك 1 صحيح، و8 لا too much، و4 so we need 4. Okay, 8 is 0. Okay, this is 21 صحيح يا شباب ولا؟
yes.
Yes.
The last thing is 0.
21 صحيح؟ This is 21, isn't it? In
Yes.
binary. In binary, this is 21 in binary. This is 16, this is 4, this is 1. صحيح؟ 16 plus 4 plus 1 is 21. Okay? Now look at the last 2 bits. What are the last 2 bits الحين؟
0 1.
0 1. So 0 1 should it be
33.
here or should it be in here?
33.
0 1 is here, صحيح? So it must be in 33. So automatically we will go to 33 and we'll find our what? Our guy whose SSN is 21 حيكون موجود هنا في المحل هذا. In one block نقدر نلاقيه. So this is the strength of extendable hashing. You can find any person in one shot, in one block. 8 milliseconds تقدر تلاقيه. Take the SSN in the where clause. طبعا the where clause is SSN طبعا. Automatically take this number, convert it into binary, and look at the last 2 bits. The last 2 bits is 0 and 1. Then automatically 0 1 معناتها حيتلاقي هنا. 33. Then you'll go automatically. So this will give you the array index. So the array index is 0 1. So this is like an array index for انت. The bucket number is 0 1. The 0 1 it points to address number 33. Is this clear وشاب ولا not clear? هل هذا واضح؟
Yes, clear.
Okay, very good. Now,
طيب دكتور لو
yes please.
لو مثلا في هذا المثال SSN equal 21
Yes.
let's say we have just 2 blocks.
We have only
يعني بس we read the least significant bit.
Excellent. In fact, you have to find out what is the maximum number of bits that you need. Here, when they are 4, I need only 3 bits, so 2 bits. So I will look at 2 bits. What about if I had only 2 of them? I will just look at 1 bit.
But he will know the maximum is 1 or he will know the maximum is 2.
Maximum is 2 bits, right? Am I answering your question ولا أنا ضايع شوي؟ معلش. Can you repeat your question again?
لا يعني he will know need just to check for 2 or 1.
Yeah, definitely. What he can do is in your program, and this is a program, he will say what is the maximum number of bits that he has to look at.
Okay.
So he will know that automatically. He will know this is the maximum number of bits he has to look at. Always he will look at those 2 bits. Always he will look at the maximum number of bits. So he will keep this number somewhere. You're right. I agree with you. So we started with 0 bits. We didn't care when we had only 1. So everybody went to 1. So hey, we don't have to check any bits. But when they became 2, we need only 1 bit. So if it is an even number, we know where it is. If it's an odd number, we know where it is. Hey? But when this one grows, I'll need more and more what? More. I have to look at more and more bits. And then you must know how many bits you have to find. You have to look. It depends on how big this array is. The bigger this array is, when this is only 1, you don't have to look at anything. When they became 2, you look at 1 bit. When they became 4, you look at 2 bits. When they become 8, you look at 3 bits. When they become 16, you look at 4 bits, and so on. So as the file grows, the size of this one will grow. In fact, the next one now is 8, Shabab. I told you this is always doubles, صحيح? So what we will have is, we will have now 3 bits, because I will have from 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 6, and then what? 7. Are you with me? And so on. So what happens is, let's say 15 again. Suppose 15 was full بعد كده. Full, it was full. So what do we do full? عن الحين لما عملنا 00 15 برضه تعبت من جديد. So what do we have to do 15? The one in 15 now, we need a new block. let's say this block number, let's say 14. So I need a new block. So هاخد اللي في ال 15 كلهم بال 15 بيخلصوا ب 0 0 يا شباب صحيح؟ So what do I do? So I need now those who finish with 0 0 0. I will put them في 15 هخليها في 15. But those who finish with 1 0 0. So the third bit, they all have the same 2 bits, but they will differ in the third bit. If the third bit is a 0 or the third bit is a 1. Those who are 0 0 0 هيكون هنا. Those who are 1 0 0 هيجوا هنا. So this will go to 14. So this will point to what? This will point to this one. So anything which is 0 0 1 will be 14. Anything which is 0 0 0 will go to 15. What about this and this and this and this? Now this finishes with 0 1, صحيح? Just like what? Like this. So this will point to 33. What about 1 0? 1 0 is 2 صحيح؟ Like this one صحيح؟ So لسه ما قسمنا 2. بعد ما نقسم 2 بعدين حيكون عندنا 0 هنا و1 هنا. What about 1 1 1 زي هذا 3 which is pointing to 0. So this will point to 0. Is that point clear يا شباب؟ Well, let's mess a little bit.
Victor?
Yes, please.
Is this a good hash?
This extendable hash?
Yeah.
To tell you,
I see it's because some problem. If there's, for example, all the digits in the one place.
Excellent, excellent. So what will happen is that all the digits in one place هذا حيكبر بسرعة معي ولا إيه؟ وهتلاقي a lot of these ones are empty, 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 empty. Okay? يعني they contain only 1 or 2 records كده يعني حيكون كده يعني. So you are right, when the SSM is very skewed مثلا they are all like even numbers فقط and they all then you will make this one big and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger وتوزع blocks زي ما انت عايز. But a lot of them they will point to the same block. A lot of them for example this is 33 and this is also pointing to 33. Another one will point to 33. So many of them will point to the same disk block. Am I answering your question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so many of them will point to the same disk block. So the number of disk blocks will not grow, but the number of the buckets will grow exponentially. فالعيب بتاع extendable hashing هو ايش؟ هذا الباكت والاري هذا يكبر بسرعه exponentially. First of all, you start with 1, then you make them 2, then you make them 4, then you make them 8, then you make them 16, then you make them 32, then you make them 64, and so on and so on. So it always grows by 2 to the power of n. عشان كده extendable hashing it has a problem of what? Of the array growing very very fast يعني which we don't like that. في another solution بسموه linear hashing but ما عندناش وقت نشرحه. They have solved this one is linear hashing, but linear hashing they introduced overflow buckets كمان دفعوا حاجة ما فيش حاجة مجاني. The good thing about this one is what? You can find any person in one block, in one reading بس تعرف بالضبط فين موجود. لأنه عندك array ما شاء الله طويل. فهمت علي؟ So عشان كده you can find anyone in one shot. Give me his and you will read only one block. You know where exactly he is يعني. But the only thing is to get this kind of performance, I am really paying a lot of what? A lot of space in the memory to keep the buckets. The bucket is growing exponentially. So that's where you are going to pay. Is this clear ولا ما واضح يا شباب؟ Any question?
Clear.
واضح يا دكتور.
ترى خلصنا الشابتر. فهمت علي؟ I'm not going to talk about linear hashing. فعشان كده عندي 15 دقيقة. Tell me if you want me to repeat something now, it's your chance. Because reading this one yourself, it's a little bit time consuming.
Doctor, I have a question, but it's outside the course.
No problem.
Is it okay?
Okay, let me just see if there is a question من الطلاب الثانيين. Then I will ask you, I will listen to your question. Is that okay with you? لو في طلاب لسه مش فاهمين هذا.
Yes.
ولا علاقة له بالشابتر هذا ولا ما له علاقة؟
No, it's لا علاقة.
خلاص طيب شوي استنى إن شاء الله. If I don't find any student asking any question in this chapter, then I will ask you. I will answer your question. Is that okay with you?
Okay, fine.
Okay. Any question يا شباب? Is there something that you want me to repeat? هذا مش واضحة. فهمتوها كده؟ أنا لما كنت طالب هذا أخذت مني يمكن أسبوع ما فهمتها يا شباب. That easy for you?
ما كان في أحد يدرسك زي تدريس.
بارك الله فيك. لا والله قاعد تصدقني في طلاب كتار بس بيستحوا ما بيسألوا، هذا العيب. خلاص. Let me finish the خلاص. Let me stop the recording. Let's finish the خلاص lecture انتهى كده. I don't want to start a new lecture and then I will answer your question. Okay, let me just stop recording معلش. And let me take attendance.